This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinion. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video. What's up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey, and let's get into this video. Y'all, many of you guys may have heard this, but I haven't. And literally today, 3/18/2025, some people are saying that Mars is Canada. I'm not about to get into the planets. I can't tell you if they're real. Look, space is in the ocean, for one, so let's just start there. But is this proof that everything, including the moon, are all stages, like the Truman Show? We know that the moon landing, I believe now, 90%, honestly, it was fake. Now we have Mars. So let's check out these TikToks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And like I always say, do not obey. Stay woke. Peace.
As soon as India sent that satellite to Mars and took a color image of Mars, the real color with the oceans and the water and everything of Mars, the director of NASA flew straight to India, and the next thing you know, about a month later, they're signing a deal there. It's a whole press release about it, and they now put them under their umbrella. And the next thing you know, that image, they put something called false color on it, turned the whole thing red. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, the newest image of Mars just got released. I have an image that I took with my Celestron telescope, and a new one just came out. This new image of Mars.
How long ago?
Just the other day.
Really?
They finally let somebody see what Mars really looks like. That's it right there. So, and I'm going to send you the one I took years ago with my Celestron 130 telescope.
Earth.com. Steve, if you could find it, find out. It's called Planet Mars Captured in True Color for the First Time Ever. It's on Earth.com. Wow.
Yeah.
What is all the blue supposed to be?
Water.
Really?
Guess what they just said about Mars recently? They said that the soil on Mars is better for growing crops than the soil on Earth.
All right, it's time to talk about Mars and Devon Island again. Where's Devon Island? It's in Canada. Largest uninhabited island in the world. Here's another alleged comparison of Mars and Devon Island. They look very similar, but they're definitely not, okay? They're not the same thing. No worries, fact checkers. Let's just take a little look right here on Google Earth at Devon Island. You can type in Devon Island, Mars. It's got the Mars bed and breakfast, all that kind of stuff. Hold on, just watch. This is very interesting indeed. This is where they train at. Don't forget, okay? Hold on. Check it out. Watch this. NASA. Look at that. NASA. Hold on. Sure makes you wonder, man. You know, the truth is often stranger than fiction. So what y'all think about the little truck, man, that had the NASA sticker on it and then this other sticker below it? Anybody know what this sticker means? It's the Canadian Space Agency. So, anyways, well, y'all have a good day.
Through pseudoscience books and programs, mass media and public education, universities and government propaganda have systematically indoctrinated the entire world into believing what is nothing but an elaborate piece of science fiction. As you can clearly see for yourself with a bit of research, a telescope or high-zoom camera, and an open, discerning mind actually honestly admitting to yourself what is and what isn't a CGI, computer-generated image, it is obvious that the light in the sky known as Mars is not some science fiction desert planet millions of miles away. The CGI images NASA shows of a spherical world are clearly and admittedly not photographs, and look nothing like Mars when seen through a telescope. Meanwhile, the actual photographs NASA claims are coming from this completely other world look exactly like they are coming from Devon Island, Canada, with a red tint added in post-processing. Images.
So you think NASA landed a rover on Mars 199 million miles away? You sure about that? And you're sure they didn't just send a crew to Devon Island, Canada, and take some photos and do some editing? Some editing to give it that red planet tint? Some editing that others before me have matched up identically with Devon Island and photos they claim to be Mars? Photos so identical that they just have to be identical. And then what they do is they release photos like this to make you think, oh my goodness, there could be aliens or other life on Mars, and that takes the attention away from the fact that the photos aren't really of Mars. And then they got you, because now you think they're covering up aliens instead of covering up the fact that Mars isn't a planet. Because if you look at what they claim to be a planet with your own eyes through an actual telescope or a P1000 camera, you see something much different.
Close. You won't believe what I discovered today. This video will blow up your mind. I'm telling you. You know, some group of people have been deceiving us for a very long time. But first, before we proceed, like this video. Hit the share button. Let's go. We all know that the richest man in the world today, which is also the most important man in this 21st century, Elon Musk, is currently developing the red planet, Mars. According to solar system, Mars is 140 million miles away from Earth. And Elon Musk and the NASA are currently developing Mars. But there was a video I come across online. And then I went for my own research. My brothers, what I discovered will blow your mind. I'm telling you, these guys are fooling us. The Mars you're talking about is currently here on Earth. You can go to your Google. Type Devon Island. Devon Island. This island is located in Canada. This is where their Mars is located.
Have you ever wanted to visit Mars? Well, your best option might just be on Earth. This is the Houghton Impact Crater on Devon Island, Nunavut, in Canada. This area is known as the closest thing that we have to Mars on Earth. For anybody interested in traveling to Mars or wanting to see what Mars is like, this might be a good proving ground for you to check out what Mars is like. So this impact crater was actually photographed in the 1950s by aerial photography. Before then, nobody knew that there was a crater even here. So this area is actually located in what you call a polar desert and a frost rubble zone. And this is the only impact crater in the world to be located in such an environment. And in this environment, there's almost no vegetation whatsoever and no water. Hence, there's little erosion, so the landscape hasn't really been disturbed in the last 23 million years. So the freezing desert-like landscape that you can find here is very similar to what you would find on Mars. And because of these factors, in 1997, this area actually became part of the Houghton Mars Project. And this project aims to have people coming here to start training for a future trip to Mars. There's also a Mars Arctic Research Station located in this area as well. This research station is part of the Mars Society, which is basically a volunteer group that come together and simulate missions to Mars wearing spacesuits, and you can see pictures that I showed earlier of what kind of missions they practice. And of course, these simulations of Mars missions are only really done in the summer because in the winter, this place is uninhabitable. So let me know what you guys think.
It's been inhabited off and on as a base, as a small colony, as a staging point for extraterrestrials who are exploring and leaving our galaxy to go to another for 3.8 billion years. The ruins that Richard shows and other people, they're tombs. This is what I'm told, that they're tombs, and that there's far more there than's being shown. Most of it's been buried, because during a war previous 69 million years ago, Mars was almost exactly like Earth. In fact, Mornay has said that many of the animal life that was on Mars is on Earth. That when we get there, when we as a race get there, publicly get there, we will find that there were dinosaurs. Many of the exact same animals and mammals and reptiles were on both our worlds. And that Mars had a totally different orbit. It was literally pulled from its orbit, and as it was pulled from its orbit by 19 million miles, it rolled like a ball 3 times. And the water that was here just moved everything. And that it's been reactivated. It was reactivated in 1989. Now, I did a lecture in Dallas, and I've been talking about this information for several years now. And I was told that in 1989, Orion troops landed on Mars and took over colonies that were settled, created there by Terrans, us, by human beings from Earth. They came in and just took it over. Now, this gentleman who approached me, and I'm just sharing this with you, said that his best friend's brother worked for Central Intelligence and was a director of NASA and resigned in 1991. He said that his brother told him that the meetings on Malta, on the ship, just off the coast of Malta between Gorbachev and Bush, were about what was going on Mars, and that they were scared to death. Now, folks, I gotta share this with you. The beings that are here from Orion, they're into control. They're into control. There is no such thing as self-rule in the Orion Empire. There's a hierarchy. Now, if you look at our planet, if you really look at what's going on our planet right now, there's only one nation that truly cherishes self-rule and actually has real experience in self-rule. That's the U.S. And we're armed to the hilt because our Constitution says we can be. This is why the focus is on destroying the United States of America. Okay, the UN, the World Order, all of that stuff, they're all taking orders from ETs, and they're scared to death. But they are willing to sacrifice this nation. They are willing to kill 3.5 to 4 billion people to maintain their place as the new priesthoods. This is Sumeria, this is Egypt all over again, but on a much grander scale, because now you've got 6 billion people living here. If the people of this nation surrender the Bill of Rights by 1998, folks, you will no longer have the United States of America. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. This is the reason the Andromedans are coming back, because 317 years into our future, our galaxy is in tyranny. And they have traced, through time travel, all the events that lead to the single point that shifted the energy from free to tyranny. Now, we're not just talking about free, we're talking also on a spiritual level. Suppression, oppression of soul, of spirit. And they have traced it all back to our solar system, which is why many races are coming back and they're saying, hey, wait, this isn't going to work. Because 317 years in our future, there's tyranny here. There is no such thing as freedom. And we somehow are dead square in the middle of this thing. Sorry for the news. But we are. This is the only reason they're bothering. Where the mountains are. Okay? There are ruins everywhere. There are domes collapsed on top of themselves. In fact, there's one that's still there that looks like Texas Stadium in Dallas with the opening in the middle. It's there. It's there. Next slide. I just put this in because everybody's interested in the physics. I'm not a physics person. But it is important because it all matches up. You know, there are symbols in all of this. In fact, I want to share with you about crop circles. I've asked a lot of questions about crop circles, and I'm told that there are two groups leaving crop circles. There is the Andromedan Council, which is made up of 139 different races, which is putting encoded information into the Earth to help stabilize it from Earth calamities. They're trying to buy us time. And many of the other crop circles that are being left by Orion. Now, where are they coming from? They're coming from Hale-Bopp. Hale-Bopp. Hale-Bopp is not a comet. It's not a comet. It has an atmosphere of 2 million miles. It has changed course 4 times, and Morane has said it will change course 2 more times before it gets here. There is also...
Is there really a UFO cover-up? And he said, yes. He said, and that's all I can tell you. The rest you can figure out for yourself. Mars was covered with liquid water. I was the one to find the Martian ocean. We were looking at Cydonia Mensa, which is a site where there's the face and then there's a 5-sided pyramid. NASA never shows that picture of the face beside the pyramid together in any of their public photos because it becomes obvious.
Really?
We're looking at archaeology. They kind of made fun of me as the Mars guy, and then suddenly Carl Sagan is trying to get a hold of me, and I said, well, Carl, what'd you think of the pictures? Brandenburg, why are you causing this trouble?
No way.
Yes. I'd found and digested the isotopic evidence, and when it all hit me, I wept like a child. It looked like a thermonuclear holocaust.
Now, this is scary. There's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans are from. Then something happened that meant we had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like a civilization that lived on Mars, and the atmosphere along with the whole planet looked completely different, which made it habitable for humans. What makes it seem true is on Mars, there is an element on the periodic table called xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, which is the craziest part, is only found after a nuclear explosion. So this theory goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was nuclear warfare which destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing? This could also be a reason why we are the only species with half the level of consciousness that we have, because we are aliens. The scariest part, the most interesting part about this theory, is that we might have to do it again as soon as more countries have nuclear weapons now.